and welcome to Bonn this morning, or should I say this afternoon. I'm here with Florent Baarsch from Adopt Negotiator. Florent, you've just come from quite a controversial meeting that I believe many of our viewers have been following. It's called the Subsidiary Body for Scientific and Technological Advice, another catchy UN title. I think it's been reduced down to SUBSTA is the acronym you'll be hearing a lot of during the course of this meeting. It's been a bit of a fiery few hours as far as this group is concerned, because there's been a bit of controversy. I saw you describe it on your Twitter feed as hot. So can you tell me what's happened?
Yeah. So yesterday we had a meeting on the SUBSTA session about what we call the 1.5 review. It's the parties and especially the houses countries want to know if it's feasible to go to 1.5 degrees instead of keeping this below 2 degrees we had in the Copenhagen Accord, and if it's going to be feasible, if it's going to be expensive. We just want to get information on this 1.5 degrees.
So this is a request for a paper, essentially just for information on the feasibility of 1.5 and possibly the impacts of going beyond 1.5. This isn't a proposal. This isn't a demand that the UNFCCC change its goals. This is just about a technical paper. Is that correct?
It's just a technical paper for information of the parties. It's just that, and what we have seen during this session is totally crazy, because some countries were fighting on this issue, and these countries were Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Qatar, Oman, these OPEC countries, these oil countries, and the fight is really difficult to understand because it was really bad and just an information paper. And now I think we have to ask questions about this process of negotiation, because just 2 or 3 countries, I think probably 5 in this case, can totally block the process of negotiations just to get a technical paper, an information paper.
And these OPEC countries, I think it was Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, it was Oman, Venezuela,
and
Qatar. They've essentially blocked this paper from being produced. They've stopping the research being presented here.
Yeah, that's it. And now the proposal made by the chair is that we will speak again about this issue in Cancun, and we hope, now we can just hope, that in Cancun the parties will agree on that. And it means that at the next session of SUBSTA, I think it will be the 34th in June next year, here, we will have a review of this 1.5 review. It means we have just lost 1 year.
And this isn't a quick process anyway, so to lose another year is a bit depressing. And what reason do you have to believe that countries will have changed their attitudes by then? You know, these are countries with Venezuela, for example. 80% of its GDP, I think, is reliant on oil. This doesn't seem something that they're going to give up easily.
I don't know, and I think it's a big question of this process. There is 2 questions. It's, do we have to change the rules of the process? Do we have to change the rule of unanimity to agree on something, or can it be just majority on this? And the second question is, how can we change the position of all countries, because they are blocking the process? And I think for that we need probably incentives to make them change. Also, I think we have to reduce our dependency, the northern dependency to oil, to make them understand that we have to change our model. We need what we call the paradigm shift, and it's now, and we have to make them understand that they have to change this, the way they produce and the way they produce their income.
And what's been the reaction of vulnerable countries of AOSIS, the kind of the negotiating bloc for the small island states? Because presumably, you know, this is urgent for them, and they need this information, and they need this information to be made accessible. We've heard kind of around the corridors in the UN the last couple of days that Jonathan Pershing, the lead negotiator for the US, had been saying that 1.5 wasn't possible, and that was the kind of message coming out from the US. And so presumably, you know, it's in the interests of AOSIS to get this report and get this information clear. And to be fair to the US, they supported the call to have this paper produced. So how did the small island states and the vulnerable countries respond?
Just after the adoption of the paper, I think it was Barbados on behalf of AOSIS countries just said a quick sentence. Here, it's not a game. Our life is at stake. And he finished his speech by, "This is not a game." And I think it totally explained the situation for these small islands countries. And it was really, I think the speech and the end of this speech was really powerful. And yeah, I think it's the reaction of the AOSIS countries, and I think they are more in danger now, and I can't say more about that. I'm really disappointed by this last session, and I hope we are going to get something on the other issues. But I don't know. Now we just hope a mandate in this session. After 2 weeks of negotiation, we just hope a new text on LCA and KP. And probably a mandate to get a new text if we can't do this new text here.